So dance has that connection of that spiritual aspect as well to enlighten your spirit. Is that great feeling that you get when you express love. But I love the idea that we have love, because like for when we dance, we feel free. We
Right.
feel
You forget the whole world.
it's more than dancing, because I also look at dance as a connection with life.
Welcome to Anne-Marie's Impact. My name is Anne-Marie Emmanuel, and I love being on here having raw conversations with real people as inspiration for those ready to elevate and dominate personally and professionally through the power of self-love. Join me on this transformative journey as we move from inner lack to inner lush together. Welcome to Anne-Marie's Impact. In this episode, I am interviewing an amazing dance couple, Lana and Vine. Before I say anything else, take a look at this video that demonstrates their passion for dance. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Lana and Vine to the show. Welcome. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having us.
And we're very excited as well.
We feel very, very, overwhelmed to be here. Thank you for having us.
You look amazing.
Thank you. I have just said the same thing for you.
Thank you.
I can take all the
I think
compliments.
that's one of the things that connects us together. This, self-express, right?
Yeah.
Self-expression in the fashion.
Yes, we love that. That carries us on further in terms of our emotion, how we feel about ourselves, how we interact with our environment. Yes. It carries us in that special place.
Right, so true. So the first thing I need to know, because you guys have inspired me so much, I just really need to know, how did you two meet?
Should I say it or should you say it? I think you should say it.
I'm losing my words with that one. The world might laugh at this one, but
Yeah, I think the audience is going to have a little laugh with this
Oh,
one.
that's good. We can use a little laughter.
So I'll just give a little hint, and then
Yes.
maybe Lana can continue the story. So
Sure.
it's all due to a book.
Okay, this is interesting.
So Lana, you can take it from there.
Well, this book is really about like a Kama Sutra.
Oh, okay. Getting really interesting.
My girlfriend and myself was curious about it. So I borrowed a book that had. At the same time, there was another guy, another friend of ours. He was passing along the way while he was there looking at the book, and he was walking with Vine. And he stood up and he said, "What you girls are doing there? What are you giggling all so contented looking at this book?" And we turned around and we mentioned what book it was. And at the same time, I glanced across towards Vine. And Vine, I saw this curious look on Vine's face as well, because, obviously they realized we're looking at something that is kind of interesting. And they were curious as to what we are giggling about, so kind of
Making them giggle.
And they were curious as to what we are giggling about, so then our friend at the time, his name is Chuck. Because the reason why he has this name is because he actually looked like the version of Chucky, but a tall version of him. So I just called out his name and said, Chuck, who is your friend there? Why are you not introducing us? And he said, first of all, just mention what you're looking at in the book, and then I will introduce you. And that's how we met.
Wow. So you was at school, so like since back in school?
Yes.
So first love?
First love.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is so exciting.
First boyfriend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Vine, this has always interested me. Is that your full name or is it short for something?
Actually, it's a joint surname.
Oh.
So it's actually Lana Vine.
Oh.
So,
okay.
well, I was actually adopted.
Right.
So the Vine is the adopted father's name.
Okay, so it's hyphen
Yeah.
Vine.
Hyphen Vine. So it's
Yeah,
Lana
it has
Vine.
such a nice ring, Lana and Vine, for your, for the two of you.
A lot of persons say so, because everywhere we go, Lana Vine, there was one particular guy that knew us, and he used to call us by another name. He used to say Sorandoro. And Sorandoro is two birds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two lovebirds.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Don't forget Tarzan and Jean.
And along the way we got some different names. Yes, Tarzan and Jane, Lana swinging on Tarzan Vine. Yeah, we used to get all these comments.
Our tutor was Ian Ali
Yes.
at the point in time, and he nicknamed us Tarzan and Jean.
So you're saying from that moment that you met him, you guys just became inseparable?
Yeah, well, we became friends, and we just
So what was that moment that you knew that this is it? Because I'm always thinking that you guys met in the dance world, in the dance community. So it wasn't so.
So it wasn't so.
No, it
in
wasn't
school
so.
days.
Schools,
Yeah,
it was.
So are you trying to tell me that the two of you met? I mean, like 2 peas on a pod. Like this is it, and then it turned out that the both of you are creative dancers.
Yes.
But I think I met her before we actually met.
Yeah.
By seeing her.
Yeah.
So I saw her walking across the
Yeah.
school field, and she had this golden hair.
Wow.
Walking, and the light was just shining on it.
Yes.
And I saw that light.
Oh, so she didn't know that. that is so amazing.
At that time too, Cheryl, I have to say this. I had a massive bottom.
Oh,
And I used to wear this particular jeans too. So when at the time he saw
Blue jeans.
yes, a blue jeans.
With
So
some flowers.
yeah, the white
Flower or sprinkles?
but more like leaves. And when he saw me, he said he was just smitten, and he had to get to know me.
right.
Yeah, but he didn't know how to get to know me. So, but somehow fate had it.
Right.
That the book
Wow,
brought
the
us
book
together.
come
Yeah.
us together. Okay.
Yeah, and things kind of went along. We started to chat, and then I realized he liked art, and I like art, and we started off with that passion first of all.
Yeah.
Now, when we were in Ian Ali's classes, he too also inspired us. He gave us that extra push, and we were always excelling in everything that we do in the classes. When we have like expos, things like that,
Tables were packed with our work.
our work will surpass everybody else's.
And I think he got interested in us and asked us to enter, I think it was the first Diwali Art Nagar
Yes.
art competition.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was 3 students, and 3 of us won gold, silver, and bronze.
Wow.
Yeah. And we entered on the last moment. Yeah, it was the complete deadline. and we had finished our work in the middle of the night, just a couple of hours
Yeah.
away
And then we ran down and,
Wow.
the team was Swami Vivekananda.
Yes, Swami
So, that was the team.
Vivekananda. Yes, I think those paintings end up in India. Yeah.
That is so interesting because I didn't even know that there was another passion that glued the two of you together. And so when did the dance come into play? I always thought that that's how you guys met.
No.
It's kind of hard to believe that, you know, the two of you are like soulmates and then find out that you have a passion for art, equal passion for art, and then you know how unlikely
So I
it is. I am
always
still
did-
baffled by the fact that, because look, I love dancing, and I'm putting it out there that I've been looking for a partner, not a dance partner. I'm looking for just a partner, and I think just having a partner who is passionate about dance the way I am, that's a double whammy right there. And then you guys have, oh my gosh. So tell me about how you got
The
into
dancing
dance.
part.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the dancing came sometime afterwards. Now, Vine used to break dance, and I used to dance with my cousin and doing hip hop and contemporary dancing, and we had it more as a social aspect too. That we go to the parties and we would lime and everything. I remembered, always trying to ask Vine, let me go and do some Latin dance classes. Let's go and do some Latin dancing. And he would say, no, that's not for me. Because he doing breakdance.
Yeah.
Right,
Now, just a quick history on mine. I didn't grow up in Trinidad. I grew up in Nigeria, and that's where I learned break dancing. So I always did break
interesting.
dancing there. So coming back here now,
Yes.
it's a different culture,
Right.
Yeah.
and wanting to do the Latin dance was kind of,
Yeah.
Yes. It was
Completely
kinda,
different, right?
yeah, it was kind of clashing. But then some friends took Vine, and I refer to this as kidnapping Vine. Yeah, because our friends, when you see our friends, you would see Vine and me. When you see us, you will see them. So it so happened our friends, their name is Wayne and Also. Alison decided that she would check out these Latin classes in Shops of Marval, a place called, well, back in the day it was called Attic, and then they changed its name to Sabor Latino. And those classes there were run by Walter Diaz, who is our trainer. And she decided that, go and check out the classes there. And they picked up Vine.
they kidnapped Vine.
They kidnapped him because usually they would drop him home. But this time they detoured and decided to go and check out the classes. So they kidnapped him. And one evening, at that time, when they kidnapped him and he came home late, as he walked through the door of the house, I realized he went to do something that I knew that, I wanted to do with him, to at least experience it. But either way, I stayed quiet and I waited for him to say something. And he said, Lana, I went and do something. I said, well, I know you went and do something.
What is it?
So, but I was curious, And he said, I went and do some dancing. And now my antennas raised up. I was like, okay, this sounded interesting, but at the same time, I was kind of was disappointed I was not there with him, with my friends and everything, But I continued listening to him, and he said, you know what? And I said, what? Because I want to be part of this. He said, these classes were so good. The actual class is tomorrow. And would you like to come? I say, hell yes.
So that evening, now a friend of ours gave her a skirt.
Yes.
Now this skirt was too big for her.
Like
So
really
that
big.
same evening, Lana cut the skirt, made a top and a skirt from it.
Yes, I crochet.
Crochet and all sorts of things, and really made it nice and Latinish.
Yes.
And got prepared for the next day.
Yes, and our friends came and pick us up as usual. And on the way there, one of our friends, Tara, said, Lana, the way how you dress, that teacher would bend you and dance you all over the place like a pretzel. And we went, and yes, so happened our girlfriend, friend, and Vine, they went into the class, and I stood up there watching. So, see the bunch of students there doing their thing, and I am just standing there. The teacher, no, the trainer, his back is facing me now. I'm at the back. And then suddenly he just turned around. The teacher, that is. And at that time, it used to be lambada. He used to play a lot of lambada music. So you get already into the lambada. So it's a good thing I had that backed up with me. So either way, the teacher saw me, and he started, now a lambada song started to play. He started to lambada across the floor to dance with me. So now I'm looking back at the bar, because there's a bar to the side, and I'm looking back at the bar, but the bar is empty. So then I'm looking towards the toilet, the bathroom area. There's no one there. So who is he coming to? And he came right up to me, and then I danced my first Latin dance with him. And my first dance was lambada. And after that, I was hooked. Vine was hooked, and we started to explore. Now, but even though we started to explore, Vine was very shy, yeah? Very, very shy. So it was more myself. He used to like come out really bold and dance. Vine would take a while.
The reserved one.
Yeah, he was the reserved one. And, you know, sometimes, Lana girl, boy, this boy not coming out to dance.
Because I was thinking about that, because one of the things I was going to ask you is what challenges did you have to deal with in terms of the two of you becoming such proficient dancers?
Challenges, wow. Well, challenges whereby making the ends meet.
Because I'm thinking like the two of you have such chemistry together, and that's, as you were explaining just now, that he was shy, you were the bold one. So how did you guys get it to a place where you had that chemistry?
So I think that started happening when I started listening to her. Because she had some really crazy ideas with the Latin dancing. Really crazy ideas. Up to today, she has very crazy ideas with the Latin dancing. She goes and she thinks out of the box a lot. And I used to think out of the box, but not as much as that. And I think that this is what actually made our routines a little more dynamic. And that's how we started doing Latin show dance in Trinidad. So we actually became the founders of Latin dance in Trinidad. Right?
Super.
So, and it's all a result of her. So
now she brought you up.
She brought me up.
But did you think, did you have to bring her, because if she's all the way up there, did you have to rein her in, like, or did you go all the way up?
I had to go all the way up. You see, I had to.
In other words, it's impossible.
Yes. No, I don't think so. But you see, when you're doing the dance, it's always good to keep your standard. And don't drop your standard. If you have a particular standard, keep that standard and let other persons try to reach your standard.
Right.
Don't drop your standard.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I tried to reach her standard, and then now we're par.
Right.
Yeah, we reach some par with each other, because when, like, for instance, like when we do a routine, and I would tell him, I would say, fine, we're doing so, we kissing in the routine, or, you know, you hold a sexy pose, before he would like, okay, all right, let's do this.
Right.
Yeah, because he will pull back, of course. He will pull back and hesitate, and it's like, okay.
But then I have to compromise.
And then he had to compromise, yeah.
And then when the routine is done,
Yeah.
it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I compromised. and I did
Yes.
it.
So I guess
Yeah.
time after time you realize, well, she knows what she's
Exactly. Exactly. And somehow it just always works out.
Yeah,
it works out.
In terms to what I was gonna say before as well, even down to the costuming and finding the finances for that, you know, as I say, making the ends meet, we used to improvise on that. We used to find substitutes.
Right.
So if I would find myself creating these costumes, and plenty times the costumes are revealing. And this is another obstacle that, you know, that again, compromising and rising up the bar, because with entertainment, in the entertainment world, there's no holding back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's two separate things. It's like you're in character
Yeah.
when you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever you wear really doesn't reflect on your personal.
Yeah.
Life is just
But you
your
know
character,
what
yeah.
I will say about that particular challenge and the costuming?
Yeah.
It actually found her other talent, which is
Right.
costume designing.
Design, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here
something
thinking
positive
that this
came
girl
out
is so
of a challenge.
multi-talented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always had an interest in costume design. I'm a person, and I'm mostly self-taught with everything. As a, you know, you remember I mentioned, I just know how to do things.
Right.
It will just come.
Yeah. That's creativity abounds in you. So, yeah. But I want to get to like your personal life. So, okay,
Sure.
the two of you are dancers, you're artists, you're partners, life partners. So, is there ever a time that you feel like you need to express your individuality, like do something outside of each other? Because it seems like everything that you do together, which is a blessing, that you guys do so many things together. Is there a time where you feel where you do express your individuality by saying, okay, I need some space to do anything else?
Very rare.
That's rare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very rare.
That's right.
Yeah. I love your hat, by the way.
Thank you.
I think that was just an expression of it. I took the hat off for a little while. Yeah. But that's amazing that, you know, a couple could...
It's rare, but sometimes, you know, you might think you need that space, but sometimes when you get together and resolve it together,
right.
somehow it works out
There's
better.
nothing wrong with needing the space, because you're still two individual human beings.
That's true.
So it's like, is there a time where, like, I just want to watch the ball game, like you're a man, and you know, and Lana's like, I don't really care for that. So you go on off and do that, and I'm going to do this. Is there a time?
When we do, most of the times, well, I'm into dolly collecting. And sometimes I like to go and, you know, check out all my collections.
Yeah, and I'm not into dolly collecting.
I was going to say, and you do that too?
I collect stamps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a stamp collector.
Okay, good to know.
I'm also a person, I'm entirely an advocate for animals. So I'm very passionate about that. I'm a cat person, by the way, but I love all animals. But I'm surrounded by a lot of cats. So plenty times too, when I'm seeing about them, feeding them, cleaning and making sure they're okay. That's my moment time with them. So
And that you're not as much a cat person.
No, I
So
am
you're
an
different.
animal person.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I am an animal person, but
same
I
sense,
think
like
her
she has a
passion,
passion.
her passion
Right.
is way higher,
Right.
way higher.
So that's something that, yeah.
And sometimes I go overboard with them. Yeah. That brings me around to my memory when I was growing up. My aunt had asked me, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I said, three careers. I want to be a vet, an artist, and a dancer. And she prayed and she asked that these wishes will come true.
Right.
And so far, I didn't become a vet, but
Well, you are a vet in a
Yeah.
special way. You're vetting those cats.
Yeah, she
Taking
is.
care
Like,
of them.
for instance, if the neighbors have a little
Yeah.
problem with the dogs, they call Lana.
Yeah.
yeah.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
Not officially.
For the cats.
Yeah, I tend to do well. I feel a connection with them, and sometimes I know when they are very sick. At one point in time, one of my cats was dying, and I found a way to treat her. Actually, the vet had mentioned at the time that she was going to die, and I felt so broken at that point in time that I decided to do my own research, and I found a way of saving her. And today she's alive, and that's about four
Probably about
years,
4 years.
approximately 4 years ago, and she's really fine. And there was another vet that saw her, and they are surprised that she's alive. There's something called FELV. It's a type of a leukemia, feline leukemia. It's not contagious to humans, but it's very bad for the cats. They die. They last in a couple months. In some cases, if they do last longer, not more than a year. Yeah, and normally it's so contagious that you cannot keep them with another healthy cat, right? So, but since I treated her, there's no problem. She doesn't look like a cat that had this disease. Yeah. So I'm hoping that one day I can bring out this product that I created
Right.
and maybe help more persons out there with cats that has the FVLV. Yeah. So as I said, I tend to work out things before I do.
Right. That's really amazing. And that how do you use like your other passion, the dance or the art, to help others in the world? What's your vision for using your talent to help others or just to contribute?
I love that question. And first of all, let me just start off by saying the studio that we have is called Mystic Vale Dance Studio. And when I first chose that name,
I'm glad you're touching on that because that is not going to be my next question. I always wondered that.
okay, now it's not, we all know, everybody says it's not in the norm. When I first chose that name, I'm a person, I don't like to be in the norm, right? And so too, the veil represents something that you are crossing through from one point to the other, passing through the veil, as to say. And when I first came up with that name, that was my thought on it. I was a bullied child. my childhood wasn't really a good experience one. From primary school to high school, and I always experienced a lot of bullying.
Why was that? Because of
Well, from what I get to understand, I realized I was always different. I would always stick out like a sore thumb, as I say, and I was always picked on. I had persons said to my face they don't like me, or they find that I was weird or freakish. Even at one point in time, one girl said that she never liked me. She would see me and she said she hated me. And then one day, well, of course, we ended up in the same class and we became friends. And then one day she said, Lana, I have something to tell you, and I want you to forgive me. And I said, girl, what happened? You have nothing, I have nothing to forgive. You are my friend. And then she said, no, Lana, I have to tell you something. But that time, I was called Lisa back then, not Lana. So she said, Lisa, I need to get this off my chest. So I sat her down and then I said, okay, go ahead. I will forgive you. Let me hear what you have to say. And she told me is that when she saw me, she felt that everything about me she didn't like. And she couldn't live without
outer appearance. Is that what she was just judging your outer appearance?
Yes. And she said when she get to know me, she realized she made a mistake by judging me like that. Yeah, because I was different. And I told her, I said, girl, I forgive you. Even though it wasn't necessary for you to beg for the forgiveness, but I realized that she wanted that peace, right? And we became really closer at that point. So in the sense of that connection as well, it kind of developed me to the person I am, or to continue to who I am. So again, it has that connection with dance. Yeah, because I understand when somebody is going through pain in some form, whether it's hatred or whether it's self, I'm looking for the right word, it's like self-doubt within themselves. Mystic Veil has that platform to create a better ground to stand on. Is when they have that wall that build up in front of them, and Mystic Veil could provide the tool to break down that wall, and they could step through that, or whether it is the veil, they step through that. So dance has that connection of that spiritual aspect as well, to enlighten your spirit. And because like for when we dance, we feel free. We feel
you forget the whole world.
You forget the whole world. You forget all your pain, all your troubles.
And again, I think it goes back again to vibrations.
Yes.
Because I think everything in this universe is a vibration, because everything is energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything has a different
brings,
vibration.
It brings you to that vibration. And one of the things that I'm working with the young children and teaching them about managing their emotions and positive emotions versus negative emotions.
Yeah.
So I always say that there are only two emotions, love and fear, which is the truth. And everything else falls under there.
Yes.
So when you get to understand, okay, the negativity that I'm feeling, whether it's jealousy, sadness, hatred, and all that stuff that creates low self-esteem, the question to ask is, what is the fear? What is the fear? So I think with the dance, it helps you to raise your vibration enough that to get you out of that fear, like you said, to walk through the wall
Yes.
of away from fear, you know, and get back to love.
Yeah.
And as you said, love. You also bring back that other memory that I had. One day I said to a group of students, I said, you know what I love? And everybody said, what do you love? And I said, I love love. And they all started to laugh. It's like they looked at me because there was a moment of silence, and it's just like they burst out laughing after that. It's like, okay, what
Some
did
were
I
very
just...
confused.
And
We're
then
to hear this big
I love love,
that
you know,
she
because...
loves.
And they asked me why I would say something like that. And I said, because love, no one really knows how the true aspect of love, the meaning of love. And we get so self-absorbed sometimes that we forget that love gives us plenty in terms for us. So why not love for that? Yeah. It's that great feeling that you get when you express love. But I love the idea that we have love. Every one of us have love within us, you know.
I think we are of love.
Yeah.
We came from love,
Yes.
and when we move away from love and move towards fear,
Yes.
so it's always
to
that's the
come back.
center of who we are.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
We, you know, unlike we were taught in society that we came into sin and all of that, but I think we all came from love.
Came from love.
Right?
Yeah.
Because God, if you say God is love or the universe is love, and we came from that, we are love in our natural state.
Yeah.
And when we're not love, it's because that we are moving away from the truth of who we are.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I look at dance with love. With love. I feel love when I dance.
Yeah.
I feel love, and I like to give love. Love with everything, and not just to another person, but the things that we do, our environment.
We can learn to appreciate and love.
Yeah.
Just taking a breath
Yeah.
and being able to do that is love, right?
Exactly. I'm not
Yeah.
forgetting love at all. Yeah. So
pay respect to love.
Pay respect to love.
I love that.
Yeah.
Really.
Also, many years ago during a performance, a lady came up to me. After the performance, that is, she came up to me and she said, "Thank you so much." And then she started to blurt out how she felt, how she wanted to become a dancer and she didn't have that opportunity, and she thanked me for giving her that gift. And she said she wished she had that opportunity because of her life, how it was so messed up. She didn't have that opportunity. So there and then it sort of kind of struck my nerve in the sense that I want to create a place where somebody could come to and make it the next best home. And over the years, and even before, I always had
Like
times.
an attraction.
Yeah, I tend. There's a lot of persons that actually will come and tell me the deepest, darkest secrets. Even down to one person, he wanted to commit suicide, and I just knew what to tell him, and I told him. I took the chance and I said these words. I said, "You are selfish." And he pulled back because it's like he didn't expect me to say that.
Right.
And I remember that first moment when I told him that, I just knew what to say each time. He responded and I would talk to him. And I said, "You're selfish." He said, "Why would you say that?" I'm ready to do what I'm going to do. And I say, you know why you're selfish? I say, you ain't thinking about yourself. I say, when you are dead and gone, you have your mom, you have the rest of your family. What will happen to them? Yes, you're going through your pain, but you're also creating pain when you leave. And ever since that period to now, I would have persons talk to me. So Mystic Veil Dance Studio is about rebuilding as well. It's also about settling. When you rebuild, you can settle in happiness and becoming a new version of yourself. And being in that comfortable place. And this is what I wanted to personify with Mystic Veil Dance Studio. It's more than dancing, because I also look at dance as a connection with life, a connection with individuals, how we approach one another. And one aspect we tend to teach in our classes as well, that both persons are very important in the dance, leader and follower. It's never more one than the other, never more than the lead. The leader is not more important. It's equal. Yeah, and this is where I associate dance with the connection with life and, creating roses as we go along.
Yeah, I just think the two things, music and dance, the things that can really raise your vibration the fastest. I use it for me. So in those moments when I feel down, depressed, I just go straight to the music. I can put on some music and immediately, like within seconds, I'm up there, so I can imagine that that's what is happening with your clients as well, the dancers that come there to dance, so I can see that. I really love, I'm so inspired by what you're doing outside of just having a dance class and reaching and touching people and inspiring people and coaching people. And that's one of the things that drew me to you, in terms of, because I spoke with you, Vine, about definitely improving my dance thing. Because I do want to take my dance to a higher level.
A higher level, right.
And I have chosen you guys, I told you that. So because of that inspiration. So as we come to a close, one of the questions that I have is, how did I impact your life? Or did I? Or will I?
I think you are already impacted. Yeah, you are a beautiful person. When the first time I met you, I don't know, I felt that connection.
Yeah. Lana came back and told me she felt a connection with you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
And I have to say this, I also love your eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I find you very sexy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Eyes and sexiness.
That's the best question that I asked today.
And what stood out to me is you are friendly, and I also like the idea of the yoga part of you. Yeah. And I feel a deep connection with that. Yeah. And also your style. So you have impacted as well. It can't just be Vine and myself impacting on persons, but also the persons that we meet as well. Yeah. Everybody has a gift. Something to offer. And, it's like I feed you, you feed me. Yeah. And we
then we share and we pass it on to someone else.
And that's exactly how I see our relationship, because I definitely, we have talked about me working with you guys to create some workshops.
Yes.
And on self-love.
I'm looking forward to that.
And it's like I'm giving to you, you're giving to me. And I see a future with good possibilities for us to create something bigger.
Yes.
Definitely.
In the work that we do.
Yeah.
So really,
Providing inspiration.
yes, inspiring each other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was such a pleasure. Such a pleasure
Thank
talking
you.
to you too. And I wish you all the best. And we have to do this again.
You definitely.
Because the next
would
time
love
we
to.
do it, we will have some pictures showing me dancing.
Right, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wish you success in your next book.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that. Your books. Yes, definitely. Most important of all, that has really, really and truly impacted on us.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Your inspiration on that part as well. For me to really start.
Oh yeah,
book
we're gonna
myself.
work on that.
Yeah,
We're gonna work on that.
so you can
Because
teach me
based
some
on what you
stuff
told
too.
me today and what we discussed, that book has to be written.
Yes.
Yeah, you have
Good.
content.
Yeah, that's good because she started and then
Yes.
stopped. So I think that this
Yeah.
is a good.
Yes,
I can
I
help you
did.
with that
Yeah.
because I that's one of the things that I do as well to encourage people to write and show them where they can start and how simple they can come up with a plan for it. So yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
It was our pleasure.
It was
Yes.
our pleasure.
Today's episode was made possible by the generous contribution of Gemini Gardens, designed by Kathy Scott of Davie, Florida.